we often wonder why you worry so much about the past. That what is happening now, the world that you see around you, as you know, is an illusion. It's made up of stories. It's made up of all of you imagining things and creating things and then destroying them and then creating something new. And that's all it is. It is just this, it's similar to your music. Every note has to have the attack, the sustain, and the decay, and these three things, just like everything. And that's how this third dimension works. And it's a story. You are all living, your third dimension is a land of stories. Stories built on top of other stories, changed, rewritten. And so we would say that it's better to look at it that way, that this is just a grand story that has been written, rewritten, it's been hidden, new stories were written, other stories were hid away in libraries. But similar to what we were saying to you, what Jesus was saying to you, is that everything has a reason. And when you look at your history with this sense of doubt, with this sense of fear, the sense of anger, the sense of that something is the wool has been pulled over your eyes. We would say that the wool has been pulled over your eyes, but not in the way that you think it is. That these stories are just a cover for the truth. So you looking into all of these stories is what the controllers of this world at this moment, the ones that want to keep you down, it's exactly what they want you to do. Keep going into that history, because what you will find is just illusory storylines that sort of fit together and sort of don't fit together. And many of you talk about knowing your true history. Your true history, we just want to bring this up, and we know that this isn't what you want to hear, but it's the truth. Your true history is that you are not this body. You are not from here. You are just down here to bring some of your stories. And so by stories, you could say your frequency and your light, and to add to this story, this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story, because your life is a part of this beautiful, beautiful story. So with that, we would say that. And then to answer your question though, so within all of these illusory stories, yes, the world understood that these healing baths existed, and they were taken away. It was rewritten. History was rewritten. Yes, it was, many, many times, more than you could ever imagine. And again, not the focus. It's not something to be focused on. It's a fact. And you could research and you see that. How does that make you feel? Do you get upset? Do you get angry? What does that do for you? It just takes you out of your calmness. It takes you out of your peace. No, so we're not saying that you should be unaware of this. It's just that the way that you look at this, your perspective when you look into these things is very important, because that is what the controllers want. They want you to start being really critical and angry and upset about all of these things that are happening, because then they can use that energy against you. So the more that you focus on those stories and not focus on the real story that's behind everything, that you are able to create heaven on earth. So for example, if you want these baths, for example, to come back, you can start a bath yourself. You can start this bath culture, and you can, in that sense, bring back the real history. And that would be a beautiful way of doing it, rather than talking about it as if these controllers have destroyed everything. They're taking away our history. If they hadn't done this, I would have been happier. No, you create your world. They are manipulating your creative abilities. This is a very important thing for you to focus on. So with that, then yes, that these bath cultures existed throughout the world. And everyone understood how it worked, everyone understood the minerals, everyone understood the radioactive components and how they could affect healing within the body. All of that stuff was well researched, well understood. All of the doctors, all of the normal people, everyone understood it, and they used it. There were hospitals that people would go to that just had a hot spring or a cold spring or any kind of spring where people would bathe every day to heal themselves. This is a very, very ancient way of healing the body. And the reason, of course, that it's not in your world now is because your medical system has been turned upside down, and things that will cure are usually not accepted within the medical community, but things that will treat symptoms are. So it's just a change of perspective. It's a good business for them. They will make a lot of money. That's the story. That's how it works. But all of you helped, all of you assisted in this as well. All of these stories. You are the creator. Every time that you get angry, every time you get sad, every time you fight, every time you attack someone, you're just feeding into those systems, and they get stronger. So that's how this works. And the reason that Japan is still holding on to a lot of these old things from another civilization, from the olden times, from the old story, it's a repository, as you said. It's a reservoir of all of the information that was lost. It's a library, so that when all of these other civilizations, when these other places fall, they can bring back this as the new culture, and say that they invented it, and so the controllers can take control of that story. That's why. That's one of the main reasons. This is the library to protect all of that information, so that when it all starts, when that plan starts, what their one world starts, they can start introducing what they'll term as Japanese culture, but it's not Japanese culture. It's just the culture of the other era that was rewritten, and they rewrote it so that they created it. If they control the story, they control you. They control the narrative. But you are the storyteller. Understand that. You are the storyteller. And with all of these different things, for example, with this library, there are always both positive and negative aspects to it in that sense. There's always, as you call, the yin and the yang. So, for example, the repository is a beautiful thing for all of you to learn. So once you learn your true history, without anger, without fear, understand that it was rewritten, and then you can look to this place. So many people come to this place because they sense that, and they learn about the true history. The people that are drawn to this place, the people that end up here, like you have keys, energetic keys, to unlock doors to information that has been kept within these libraries. Some of this information is physical, some of it is not in this realm, so it is supernatural, you might say, fifth dimensional information that you can unlock and download. And so, yes, so this is what we would say, that yes, there are two sides to the story, and the one side is, yes, those who would like to control you will be using this country's culture to say that it is their culture, and that it is the new world culture. And so, for example, these healing baths, for example, all of these sorts of things. But the other side to this is it is a repository of ancient civilization information. So all the stories have been erased, but the stories are kept here. So this is the place where all of the old stories are. So they're not erased. They're just brought here, and the writer, the author, the language has changed. That's all.